Right.
Good morning,
Okay.
Bhante. Good morning.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Good morning, Bhante.
Yeah. After a long time, huh?
Yes.
I hope you all are doing well. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Hope you are doing well, Bhante.
Okay. And now, today, I thought of starting some Dhamma talks on meditation itself, because there has been several requests that people made to give some instructions on meditation. I think that's a very good beginning of this year. Now, I like to start with a very famous discourse, mindfulness in breathing, Ananpansati Sutta. This is the meditation that spreads towards all other meditation practices. So, this is the primary meditation. Even the Buddha, when Venerable Ananda somebody asked Venerable Ananda what kind of meditation the Buddha was practicing. Venerable Ananda said that Buddha was practicing mindfulness and breathing, and he, in order to confirm that statement, he went to the Buddha and asked the Buddha what kind of meditation he has been practicing. Buddha said before his attainment of enlightenment, he practiced meditation of mindfulness, and now even after the attainment of enlightenment, he was practicing mindfulness of breathing. And then, because it is so important, that encompasses all other meditation. That is why it is in the mindfulness, or four foundations of mindfulness, begins mindfulness of breathing. And long discourse on four foundations of mindfulness begins mindfulness of breathing. And so can you see this on the screen?
In Pali. You are seeing Pali.
You don't see that?
No. It says
English.
your screen sharing has been paused.
Ah,
Should redo the ceremony.
But then we see the Sinhalese script.
Do we see the English now?
now can
Not
you
yet,
see?
Bhante.
Now
Not yet.
Can you see English now?
Not yet.
Bhante.
Oh, Bhante.
What I
And
said,
I don't see the Sinhalese either.
Do you see the English now?
No.
What happened?
what I said in English earlier is not in.
Okay, now
yeah.
we can see.
Now
Now
we
we
can see.
Now you
Thank
can
you.
see.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
What I said already, you don't find on the screen. But in order to introduce this, I said all this. Okay? You hear
Yes,
me?
Bhante. Yes, Bhante, we can hear you.
Okay. You can hear me and you can see me, see the screen.
Yes,
Correct.
Bhante.
Okay. All right. So let me start again. So Buddha practice meditation, mindfulness of breathing meditation before his attainment and enlightenment. Even when he was a little child, when the father took him to a flying festival, it is said that he practiced mindfulness of breathing to attain the jhanas. And so, in after attainment of enlightenment, he continues to use the mindfulness of breathing. That is why we, as I mentioned, in Mahasatipatthana Sutta in Digha Nikaya, Buddha start the sutta with mindfulness of breathing. Satipatthana in Majjhima Nikaya start with mindfulness of breathing. And then Girimananda Sutta at the end, one of the perceptions is mindfulness of breathing. You all have to excuse me for my sore throat. My throat is not very clear. I have been under severe cold last few days, and so my voice is like this today. Anyway, and Buddha said when you practice mindfulness of breathing, we practice all the four foundations of mindfulness and 7 factors of enlightenment and liberation from with my mind and with wisdom, with liberation by mind and with wisdom. All this can be fulfilled and when we practice mindfulness of breathing. And Buddha said, and now we begin the discourse as you see on the screen. And how because does mindfulness of breathing developed and cultivated fulfill the 4 foundations of mindfulness? Okay. Now 4 foundations of mindfulness, as we all know: mindfulness of the body, mindfulness of feeling, mindfulness of the mind, and mindfulness of mind objects. These are the 4 foundations of mindfulness. When we practice mindfulness of breathing, Buddha said we fulfill all the 4 foundations of mindfulness. And therefore this is very profound, very meaningful, practical meditation. When we meditate, we always refer to Buddha's instructions on meditation. Buddha's instruction on meditation. So Buddha explained this. Bhikkhus, on whatever occasion a bhikkhu breathing in long, understand I breathe long, or breathing out long, understand I breathe out long, breathing in short, understand I breathing in short, breathing out short, understand I breathe out short, trace thus. I shall breathe in experience in the whole body, whole body means whole breath body. Okay?
Okay, Bhante.
Whole breath body. Trace thus. I shall breathe out experience in the whole body of breath. Trace thus. I shall breathe out in tranquilizing the body formations. Trace thus. I shall breathe out tranquilizing the body formations On that occasion, a bhikkhu abide contemplating the body as body, ardent, fully aware, and mindful, having put away covetousness and grief for the world. I say that this is certain body among bodies, namely inbreathing and outbreathing. That is why on that occasion bhikkhu abides contemplating the body as body, ardent, fully aware, and mindfulness, having put away covetousness and grief for the world. Now, this is a very brief account. Now, let us elaborate all this little more for us to understand better. Breathe long means when we begin in meditation, sit in cross-legged or in a chair or wherever and however posture we like, we feel comfortable. As you know, Buddha always talk about sitting cross-legged in lotus posture. As many people cannot sit in lotus posture, that should not be deprive them of the practice. Therefore, they must assume whatever posture they feel comfortable. And breathe in long, meaning as soon as you sit down, you feel breathing in and breathing out because you are sometimes agitated, excited, and uh, doing all kind of activities. And when you sit down, your breath is not settled very quickly. And therefore, you breathe, take inhaling long, and that breath you exhale long. That means when you breathe, you feel long inhaling, you feel long exhaling. And you should do it as long as you can. That means as long as your mind settles down, your breath becomes settled down, you breathe slowly in, slowly out. Breathing out long. And breathing in long, breathing out long. Then it naturally becomes relaxed, settled, and you notice that. You don't do deliberately short. And it happens that means it comes to natural breathing. Breathing in short, you understand. Now you understand that you breathe in short. This doesn't mean that you have short of breath, but the breath becomes naturally short. When you breathe out, that breath also becomes short. So you understand I breathe out short. Now, I mentioned at the very beginning, don't say I breathe, I breathe, I breathe. In order to teach this method, Buddha used the word I temporarily. But when you really practice, you practice focus total attention to the breath, and when breath becomes short, become aware of the short inhaling. Just become aware of short inhaling. Don't say, I breathe in short. I breathe in short is mentioned in the discourse in order to teach us. But in practice, you notice short inhaling as short inhaling, short exhaling as short exhaling. And then you breathe in and out. I shall breathe in, experience in the whole body of breath. Now, this is only the air element. Now, in this situation, in this breathing, in this practice, your mind is not going here and there, only you feel the breath. The breath, inhale, when you inhale, you feel the breath at the tip of your nostrils. And then when it goes to the lungs, you feel that at lungs. And then you feel the breath at the lower abdomen. When you breathe out, lower abdomen becomes the beginning, chest area is middle, nostrils is the end. And that also you just notice. That means your mind is becoming calm and calmer and calmer and calmer. So you don't do anything in excess. So when you experience the whole breath body, you say, I shall breathe out experience in the whole body. That means whole of breath body. Training thus, I shall breathe in, tranquilizing the whole body, the formations. Training thus, I shall breathe out, tranquilizing the body formations. Now, tranquilizing means you just breathe in and then you feel tranquility. You feel the tranquility, calmness, peaceful state. Because the mind is not going here and there now, it is channeled only in one direction. So you shall breathe in tranquility, tranquilizing the body, formations, and thus I shall breathe out, tranquilizing the bodily formations. Kaya Sankara. Kaya Sankara is bodily formations. The Buddha said on that occasion, a bhikkhu abides contemplating the body as body, ardent, fully aware and mindful, having put away covetousness and grief for the world. Now, we are not talking about the world outside ourselves. The world here means this body. This body. And the whole world is open to this body through our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. World is open. But Buddha said in various places, the body is means, world means this entire one fathom body. That is the world. That is where we have covetousness and grief. On when we go through these four stages, long inhaling, long exhaling, one pair, short inhaling, short exhaling, one pair, entire breath body, inhaling and exhaling, third pair, and the last is tranquility, tranquilizing the body, inhaling and exhaling. That is the fourth pair. These four pairs are called first four tetrad, four of pair of four. And then when we do this, Buddha said this is the body conditioner. The breath is called body conditioner because it is the breath that brings oxygen to our lungs and charge our red blood cells in the lungs, and then they go to heart. Heart pumps all over our body, and then charge all the 50 to 60 or 51 or 61 trillion cells. This body is made up of cells, and each cell needs oxygen. When we breathe in, we charge them with oxygen. And then next moment, they all absorb into the cells and come back to heart pumps to lungs, and lungs, when we breathe in, we charge them with oxygen again. This process going on and on and on all the time. That also when we mindfully think, we understand impermanent nature. Impermanent nature. Every fraction of a second things are changing inside. And that inside changes, expresses outwardly after a long period of time through our gray hair, wrinkled skin, loose teeth, and so forth. All happens outwardly. So therefore, this is how the breath conditions the body. On that occasion, the completing the body, contemplating the body as body, ardent. Ardent means energy, perseverance, effort, fully aware of these functions, mindful of rising and falling, having put away covetousness. Covetousness is excessive greed for the property of others. We have enough greed. We have greed in us for our own things. In addition to that, we also have greed for others. That is called covetousness. Then grief. When we don't get, when we don't have, when we lose, we have grief. For the world means the body. And in this body, we have all these problems. And they all fade away temporarily during the practice of mindfulness of breathing. I say that this is a certain body among the bodies, namely in-breathing and out-breathing. That is why on that occasion a bhikkhu abides contemplating the body as body, ardent, fully aware, mindful, having put away covetousness and grief. Now see, that so many things are happening in us for us to be aware, mindful, and develop our insight. And put away mindfulness, having put away covetousness and grief. Then that is mindfulness of the breathing. Because on whatever occasion, a bhikkhu trains thus, I shall breathe in experiencing rapture, trains thus. I think we must contemplate on this now. Next is mindfulness of the feeling, mindfulness of feeling. That is another section of meditation, and then complete practice of meditation. Somebody who can practice mindfulness of the body, that itself is a meditation section, practice of meditation. If somebody is comfortable with mindfulness of feelings, this is how Buddha said, because on whatever occasion a bhikkhu trains thus, I shall breathe in experiencing rapture. When we have gone through the first section, naturally you feel joy, rapture, training. So I shall breathe in, breathe out, experiencing rapture. I shall breathe in, experiencing rapture, breathe in, experiencing rapture. It trains thus, I shall breathe out, experiencing rapture. This is one pair that takes place after the mindfulness of body. Because the person now feels more calm, rapturous. Training thus, I shall breathe in experiencing rapture. Trains thus, I shall breathe out experiencing rapture. Trains thus, I shall breathe in experiencing mental formations. Trains thus, I shall breathe out experiencing mental formation. Trains thus, I shall breathe in tranquilizing the mental formation. Trains thus, I shall breathe out tranquilizing the mental formations. And that. So the first he trains himself with mindfulness of the body. That means now he practices mindfulness of feeling. And he feels rapture, he feels uh, the what you call experience of pleasure. Piti sukha. Piti means rapture, sukha means pleasure. Piti is arising by degrees. It is said very slowly, slowly, slowly. And when piti rapture arises, that culminates in pleasure. That culminates in pleasure. All you have, you will experience yourself. You don't go to the book of suttas. It is personal experience. And then after pleasure, you experience, I shall breathe and experiencing the mental formations. In the past, you see physical formations, the bodily sankhara, now mental sankhara, bodily formations. Now this is mental formation. What is mental formations? In Pali it's called vitakka vichara, mental formations. Then that you train yourself, you feel it, you experience it. And then I shall breathe out experiencing mental formation. Breathe in, experiencing mental formations. Breathe out, experiencing mental formations. Then finally you feel, again, even that becomes tranquil, calm, peaceful. On that occasion, Buddha said, on that occasion, Bhikkhu abides contemplating feeling as feeling, ardent, fully aware, and mindful, having put away covetousness and grief for the world. The same thing again, you feel, then I say that this is certain feeling among feelings, namely giving close attention to the breathing, in, breathing out. You see, the Buddha said the breathing in, breathing out is, you have to pay close attention to it. Close attention to in-breathing and out-breathing. That is why on that occasion a bhikkhu abides contemplating feeling as feeling, ardent, fully aware and mindful, having put away covetousness and grief for the world. Now, until you pay full attention, you feel, normally you feel, but normally when we feel pleasant feeling, we become attached to it. When unpleasant feeling arises, we become disappointed. But in this case, we just become mindful of in the feeling, whether it is rapturous, pleasant, and so forth, but you don't cling to anything. I say that this is a certain feeling of the feelings, ardent, mindful, out breathing, and that is why on that occasion Bhikkhu abides, contemplating feeling as feeling, ardent, fully aware. Now, that is feeling. Now, in both cases, mindfulness of body or mindfulness of feeling, you will become aware of it and understand that this exists only for gaining knowledge and wisdom, not to cling to anything. If you cling to anything, then you will lose your practice. So at least during that time, you don't cling to it, you just become aware of it as it arises. So, then bhikkhu on whatever occasion a bhikkhu trains thus, I shall breathe in experiencing the mind. You know, it is difficult to experience the mind. Trains thus, I shall breathe out experience in the mind. Trains thus, I shall breathe in gladdening the mind. Trains thus, I shall breathe out glad in the mind. Trains thus, I shall breathe in concentrating the mind. Trains thus, I shall breathe out concentrating the mind. Trains thus, I shall breathe in liberating the mind. Trains thus, I shall breathe out liberating the mind. On that occasion, a bhikkhu abides contemplating mind as mind. Okay, now here is the trick. I shall breathe in experiencing the mind. That means this is very, very subtle, very important practice. Mind knows the mind. Mind experiences the mind. But don't ask me how or where the mind is. But we know that there is something called mind. That mind shall breathe in experience in the mind. Again we don't say I shall breathe in experience in the mind. That means the mind experience in the mind, breathe in and breathe out. While when we say you breathe in experience in the mind, you breathe out experience in the mind, we have to use the word you and I in a conventional sense. But in reality, in this Dhamma practice, in mindfulness, in Buddhist training, there is no particular entity called I or you. These are conventional terms that we use in order to make the communication easy. So whatever occasion a bhikkhu trains thus, I shall breathe in experience in the mind, trains thus, I shall breathe out experience the mind. And then, of course, then mind becomes glad by itself. Through this practice, mind becomes glad only through this practice. And then he becomes aware of the gladdening the mind. That means gladdening state of mind. Thus, trains thus, I shall breathe in contemplating the mind, concentrating the mind. So when the mind is gladdened, glad mind naturally gains concentration. Glad mind gains concentration. Then I shall breathe out, concentrating the mind. When we breathe in, we experience concentration. With the same concentration, we breathe out. Tells us, I shall breathe in liberating the mind. Trace thus, I shall breathe out, liberating the mind. Mind becomes liberated from greed, hatred, and delusion. Greed, mind becomes liberated from greed, hatred, and delusion. Even if it is temporarily liberated, the mind knows this mind, this moment is free from greed, hatred, and delusion. If any moment the mind is invaded, mind is obsessed with greed, hatred, and delusion, then we understand this mind is not liberated. Although this I shall breathe in liberating the mind, says thus I shall breathe out liberating the mind. Okay, on that occasion the same thing happens. Ardent, fully aware, and overcome covetousness and grief in the world. That is the mindfulness of the mind. Third foundations of mindfulness. And then Buddha said, I do not say that there is development of mindfulness of breathing for one who is forgetful, who is not fully aware. So we have to be mindful, and we must remember sati. I do not say that there is the development of mindfulness or breathing for one who is forgetful. What does he forget? He forgets rising, falling, impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, selflessness, and when the greed arises in the mind, he forget all this and simply sitting, focusing mind only on the air coming in and going out. But whenever the free flow of breath is interrupted with greed, hatred, and delusion, he remembers that. On that such and such a moment, greed arose, hatred arose, delusion arose. And that memory is very important for him to build up the meditation. So Buddha said, one who is forgetful, there is a development of mindfulness, one is forgetful, who is not fully aware. So he has to be very aware of what is happening in the mind. That is why on that occasion the bhikkhu abides contemplating mind as mind. At that time, so now first the body, then the feeling, then mindfulness of the mind. Last one on this section. Bhikkhu, whatever occasion bhikkhu trains thus, I shall breathe in contemplating impermanence. Trains thus, I shall breathe out contemplating impermanence. Trains thus, I shall breathe in contemplating fade away. Trains thus, I shall breathe out contemplating fading away. I shall breathe out. Trains thus, I shall breathe in contemplating cessation. Trains thus, I shall breathe out contemplating cessation. Trains thus, I shall breathe in contemplating relinquishment. Trains thus, I shall breathe out contemplating relinquishment. Okay, now this is the last section, mindfulness of the Dhamma, mindfulness of mind objects, Dhammanupassana. So, on whatever occasion one contemplating the impermanence. Now, you can experience the impermanence from the very beginning. Now it comes to measures going through the mindfulness of practice, mindfulness of the body, mindfulness of feeling, mindfulness of mind. Even in those stages, we experience impermanence. But the dominating factors in those stages are the body, feeling, and the mind. Now, that silver thread, starting from the beginning, becomes very prominent, clear in this stage of mindfulness of Dhamma. This is a very subtle thing. Impermanence is Dhamma. Impermanence is Dhamma, and Buddha mentioned it, whether the Buddhas come into existence or not. This established rule of Dhamma exists. That is, all conditioned things are impermanent. Now, if whatever impermanence is unsatisfactory, whatever impermanent unsatisfactory is without self. So, on whatever occasion bhikkhu trains thus, I shall breathe in contemplating impermanence. So impermanence becomes very prominent. Trains thus, I shall breathe out contemplating impermanence. Trains thus, I shall breathe out in contemplating fading away. Viraga. Whatever is impermanent cannot hold on to anything. It just fades away. That's it. Breathe out contemplating fading away. Then train us. I shall breathe in contemplating cessation. Whatever is faded away, it ceases. It ceases. And you can never find a trace of its existence. I shall breathe out contemplating cessation. And then I shall breathe in contemplating relinquishment. What is gone is gone. Let it go. Relinquish. No any string attached. Says thus, I shall breathe out contemplating relinquishment. On that occasion, a bhikkhu, Buddha said, a bhikkhu abides contemplating mind objects, that is as mind objects. Okay? Again, ardent, fully aware, mindful, having put away covetousness and grief for the world. Having seen with wisdom the abandoning of covetousness and grief, he closely looks on with equanimity. That is why on that occasion a bhikkhu abides contemplating mindful mind objects as mind objects, ardent, fully aware, mindful, having put away covetousness. Okay. So bhikkhus, thus that is how mindfulness of breathing, developed and cultivate, fulfills the four foundations of mindfulness. You see, the practice is only one, it spreads to four. One becomes four. And then later on we will see how four become two. And then one liberate. So, now, object, ardent and mindfulness. Having seen with wisdom the abandoning of covetousness and grief, he closely looks on with equanimity. With all this, the person or meditator gains balanced state of mind. Balanced state of mind. Equanimity. It does not get excited when he experiences certain things, nor does he get depressed when he experiences certain things. But with equanimity, he practices. Now, when we go to the next talk, maybe tomorrow, I explain in detail how we do the mindfulness body in details. And details explanation we can find in other discourses like Satipatthana, Mahasatipatthana and so forth. And then we will discuss them, some of them tomorrow. We start tomorrow with the next section. Okay, friends, we have very, very short time to practice meditation, and therefore I stop here and we try to do some meditation. Okay? I don't know whether he can do this or not. Mhm. Okay. All right. May all beings be happy and secure. May all beings have happy minds. Whatever living beings there may be, without exception, weak or strong, long or large, medium, short, subtle or gross, visible or invisible, living near or far, born or coming to birth, may all beings have happy minds. Let no one deceive another, nor despise anyone anywhere, neither from anger nor ill will should anyone wish harm to another, as a mother would risk her own life to protect her only child. Even so, towards all living beings, one should cultivate a boundless heart. One should cultivate all the world, a heart of boundless loving friendliness, above, below, and all around, unobstructed, without hatred or resentment, whether standing, walking, sitting, lying down, or whenever awake. One should develop this mindfulness. This is called divinely dwelling here, not falling into erroneous views, but virtuous and endowed with vision, removing desire for sensual pleasures. One comes never again to birth in the womb. Bhavana. May the suffering be free from suffering. May the fear-struck be free from fear. May the grieving be free from grief. So too may all beings be. From the highest realm of accession to the lowest, may all beings resident in these realms, with form and without form, with perception and without perception, be released from all suffering and attain to perfect peace. Excellent, excellent, excellent. With this note, I want to wish everyone, all those who are in various places suffering from various things, and may they all find time to practice Dhamma, practice meditation, especially those who are in hospitals suffering from various diseases taken care of by doctors. May they recover very soon, return to normal life, and practice Dhamma, practice meditation, and liberate from suffering. May the doctors, nurses, and hospital staffs everywhere, any part of the world, be well and take care of their patients. Find time to practice meditation and liberate themselves from samsaric suffering. May those who are in various trouble spots like war zones, poverty-stricken, discrimination, and so on, may they also find time to understand the nature of greed, hatred, and delusion, to console themselves, practice Dhamma, practice meditation, and liberate themselves from samsaric suffering. May those who are grieving their loved ones and also find time to practice meditation and liberate themselves from samsaric suffering. May all those who are in the northern direction, northeastern direction, eastern direction, southeastern direction, southern direction, southwestern direction, western direction, northwestern direction, up and below down, all of them in these 10 directions, be well, happy, and peaceful, and attain liberation. Okay, friends, see you tomorrow.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu,
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 sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you,
Sadhu,
Bhante.
Bhante.
Devan Sarnai Samananse.
Everyone, Sarnai,
Right.
I'm so glad that you all are still attending this Dhamma talk, and I hope to see you tomorrow, okay?
Thank you,
Yes,
Bhante.
Bhante.
Thank you,
Yes,
Velo.
yes, yes,
Bhante.
Bhante.
Everyone, Saranai.
Yes, Bhante. Yes.
Okay. Where is this? Okay.